All right, guys. Hey, it's Joey and Nate here, Dixie Doggers. Coming to you today live from inside the house. We're not in the recording studio.
Too
AKA
hot in the shed.
It's a hot summer, my mother. Yes, it is outside. Alabama, end of July, 110 degrees.
110 BMI is the main problem.
A little bit too thick around the waist.
Yes.
But humidity is definitely a factor. It's a sauna out there. So anyway, we're inside today. We're gonna go. I had a young guy contact me, and his name is I don't know. Can I say his name on here or not? No, I don't want to say his name. He'll know who I'm talking about. He contacted me on Instagram. I'll say his name later. Or something, I don't know. We'll keep it a secret.
Wait till we say something bad about him.
Yeah,
say his name.
say, you know that Brandon kid, you know,
Yeah.
little Munoz kid.
Yeah.
He's got them yellow dogs out there in Texas, and he's, from what I've seen, and from what I know, he hunts. He hunts hard. He's got some good dogs, and he inquired about maybe doing a episode on getting pups started, in which we had talked about doing that already, so that we just kind of bumped this one on up to the front. What we're going to go over today is, going and buying a puppy or getting a puppy from your friend or another hunter or family or whatever. Anyway, acquiring a puppy, basically, like when we first started doing this, basically you don't know anything, so this is a whole learning process. For you guys that are experienced hunters that have done this for years and years, thanks for watching, but we're not really directing it to you. We're not trying to tell you how to do anything because you already know how to do it.
But if you do have a tip or anything like that, then please let us know, because we do not know everything.
No, no, I don't. But so, say you're new to it, you want to get you a puppy or a couple of pups or whatever. First of all, you need to know the style of hunting that you're going to do. Are you going to hunt with some buddies of yours that have cast dogs? Are they going to run cur dogs? Are they going to run hounds? What
range are those dogs?
Yeah, are they going to be long range dogs? Whatever, then, you need to do some research and find somebody who has that type of pup that'll fit the bill available. Then you need to, and now this is more for just the strike dog, track dog, trail dog type, that's not for the catch dogs. So when you get your pup, you go to pick one out or whatever, you need to know what to look for in a puppy. Nathan, he's been around this ever since he was a puppy himself, and he's got a good cameraman. Don't you laugh! You know better than that. You sit back there and be quiet, boy.
I'm just a hound dog.
Just a hound dog. Old cop. All right, tell us what you look for in a puppy, Nate.
So usually overall health. A healthy dog usually sets you in a good start.
Yeah.
If you have a puppy that's got cloudy eyes, mucus around his eyes, snot coming out of his nose, he's got diarrhea, also known as the squirts, probably don't want to take that dog home with you. Usually, like I said, we discussed a lot of how to acquire a dog in a few of our previous episodes. So go through all those basic steps of finding somebody, getting referrals from other people of, I can vouch, he's got good dogs. These are the kind of dogs you want. And then go to his house and just really get your hands on them. See, like I said, typically the ones that are more active and stuff will live. Some people have really good luck with litters. Some people don't.
Yeah.
It can be hit or miss. I know people that can't seem to raise a litter for their life, and they spend $5,000 per litter taking them to the vet. They're just taken really well care of. So it's
like
just
a snake bit. So
it's all over the place. And but just watch for overall health. What was the 1 minute? I don't know what that was.
Also, when you're, like when you go to somebody's house and you look at that pup, the health thing, like Nathan was talking about, you want to look at the overall care of the other dogs as well. I mean, if you pull up and you see, just say you don't really know this person, they got some advertised. You go over there and the yard is, it's so-so, but the dogs look really good. Well, that's a great indicator right there.
Oh yeah, as long as the dogs are healthy,
yeah.
it don't
If you pull
really
up,
matter.
because I mean, everybody. There's so much bull that goes on about people, and I've been to a lot of yards, and the majority of guys that hunt, a lot of us use barrels for dog houses, or chain link kennels, or chain spots, and they're all about the same setup. And I have been there where I've seen dog pens, and I mean they're rough, but the dogs look
But the fundamentals
fantastic.
of being well taken care of is there. They got
Exactly.
clean water, good food,
Yep.
and somewhere to stay dry and warm.
And that's all it takes. It doesn't have to be a damn $10,000 kennel that houses 3 dogs, to make that puppy. That's not going to make that pup. Like I said, but just keep in mind the overall care. You pull up and all the dogs look wormy and mangy and, look just bad overall, then, might be some concern there.
Yeah, you might want to leave before you bring something to your yard.
Yeah, because you don't ever know. You get out and start walking on that yard. If you got other dogs at your house or pups or something, you could drag some parvo or something like that home. But anyway, so, the overall health of the puppy, that's one thing to look for in the puppy. I like to see a puppy that's, a lot of people like the runt, which is the smallest of the litter. I like the runt, but I like the biggest pup too.
I like the biggest female a lot of times.
I like the most outgoing female, and that's just me. I like the female pups more. I've had some great male dogs. Still got a bunch of male dogs they're damn good dogs. But I don't know. The ones that are bouncing around, pulling on the other one's ears and trying to fight, roughhouse and all that. That's the ones I like. The ones that aren't shy. You get one that's real shy and skittish, that might pose to be a problem or an issue later on. It might just be that day, at that time, the pup might be a little shy and it be fine the next day. But then again, it could be from now on. I mean, I've been around grown dogs that you couldn't put your hands on.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be more of a complication than anything. So that's another thing that I like to look at.
Really test your patience, because they might do real good at the yard, but then you go drop them out in the woods and then you can't catch him. It's like,
and everybody's ready to go.
I'm 2 hours away from my house. We've been hunting.
And you've been trying to catch him for 2 hours.
And you're like, I'm ready to go home.
Exactly. So once you get your puppy and you get it home, make sure the care of the puppy is a big thing. A lot of people get a puppy and they want to put it in the house, keep it right there, baby it and all that. And that's all well and good. Yeah. But, these animals that we use, they're pretty much livestock. They're workers.
For sure.
But that doesn't mean that you can't love them and care for them and treat them as a pet also.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, but so,
they still need
we
to
like
be
to
worked.
keep ours in off-ground kennels.
Yeah.
Like a 4x8 or 3.5 by 7 foot kennel for a smaller dog is fine. Make sure a lot of people are capable of doing, shots and stuff at home, but honestly, it does not cost that much to go to a vet.
No, if you don't have a whole lot of dogs, I would just for your sake,
go
just
to the
say
vet.
you did, go to the vet. They keep records. You move
it's
away,
easier.
you start another dog yard. You can transfer records over. It's just like health records on a person.
Yeah, it's honestly overall it's a lot easier if it's just you only have just a couple of dogs. Make sure to feed a good quality food.
Oh yeah.
There's tons of brands out there. I know, we've tried. I don't know everything that we know of, and but you always want to feed a good quality food, and it will not be cheap. So don't expect to go buy a $10 bag of dog food, 50-pound bag that's $10. That's not going to happen. You're going to spend $30 to $50 a bag for decent feed. After that, you got your pup home. You started, the acclimation process is set in. Pup's getting used to you, getting used to its surroundings.
Definitely build a bond with the dog.
Yes, I like to socialize the pup.
Oh yeah.
Around people and other dogs and puppies. I like for them to be able to, get out and not be shy or be overly aggressive or anything like that. And also start that pup's obedience as soon as possible.
Yes.
I don't care if it's 8-week-old pup. That's fine. Get it
I've
to
seen
start
a lot
sitting.
of 8-week-old puppies sit.
On command. I mean, we've had, like, Lily, I mean, that dog at 12, 14 weeks old, she was pretty much all your basic commands she would follow, no issues at all. And it progressed until, you know, she was full, any type of hand signal, pretty much anything you want to do with her. And that doesn't really necessarily have to be true to all the dogs, but your basic obedience, come when you're called, sit down, you know, don't be jumping around acting crazy. You know, that I don't like to go with other guys and then they turn their dogs loose and then their dogs come over there and jump up on you. And I don't want my dogs doing that. I have had dogs, and I got one out there now. Charlie, he wants to come up. All he wants is some petting. That's it. But still, you know, you go out there and you get dirt and mud and all that stuff, and then the dog jumps up on you. It's fine when you're hunting, but at other times, what about then? So, you know, make sure that you stay up to par on your obedience. And then, you know, after that, you can move on to a little bit of training. Keep in mind, this puppy is really young, what we're talking about in this scenario, and that the pup's teeth still has baby teeth, milk teeth, whatever you want to call them.
Yes.
They're not, it doesn't have its adult teeth in, and you can snatch them out, you know, and then, you know, you have to wait longer. So keep in mind when you're doing that. What's some things that you suggest for them to start out with
I'd suggest with the collar as soon as possible, a small collar, because if you leave a dog, and I know from personal experience,
yes,
you don't put a collar on a dog till they're a year old or later. They don't like it. Walk them on a lead. Get used to some sort of resistance around their neck. All canines in general are really, really sensitive around their necks. So
yes,
that's why pinch collars work so effectively. It's because that's such a sensitive place.
Pull up a little, and I know a lot of people know this, but if you're walking a dog on a leash, pull upward on the leash. Don't pull back. If the dog starts to go ahead of you and you start yanking back on it, well, the dog just wants to pull harder. Keep it right beside you, short lead it, and pull straight up. If you pull straight up, the dog will correct itself and it will walk right beside you. I guarantee you. And if you have even if you have a grown dog, a friend of ours, Grant, he had a huge bulldog and it wanted to pull and pull and pull. And, you know, of course the dog was an older dog. Just took the lead, run it down its back, and just wrapped it around its waist and pulled back up like that. And every time the dog would try to pull, it'd pinch on it just enough. You know, it wasn't hurting the dog or anything, but it kept him at his side. And after that, Grant had that dog within a month. That dog you didn't have to have a lead at all. No. I mean, this dog was one of the top well-handled catch dogs I've ever seen in the woods. I mean, he really was. A rhino.
He went from reckless to like impressive. It was like, damn, that dog listens good.
Yeah, he went from a huge rhinoceros, honestly,
like a big old meat
to a one hellacious catch dog. Yes. And he put the stop to many pieces of swine.
Yes.
You know, we was talking about doing the collars, leads. Also, if that puppy, you put him out in the kennel and he starts crying, just let him cry.
It's like a baby.
You got to get used to it.
At a certain point, it's just...
Yeah. You can take, you know, and then in getting into the first parts of actual training.
Yeah, this is probably 3 to 6 month range that we're talking about.
We're talking the pups 10 to 12 weeks old. Like I said, most of them are weaned at 6 to 8 weeks, and then you pick it up usually 10 to 12 weeks, somewhere in there. So, you know, you got a 3-month-old puppy. That's what most of this is going to be based on, and leading onward from that, going from 3 to 6 months, and then from 6 months to about 9 or 10. That's what we're going to try to cover. But so, all right, say you got that 12-week-old puppy, get him a piece of pigskin. You know, let him tussle with that. Like I said, just be careful, don't snatch it from him. Yeah, because he might pull his teeth out, pull them loose.
Hogtails work really good.
Hogtails, pig ears, a pig foot, hoof, whatever you want to call them, those work good. Make you a little.
Be careful with giving the hoof part, because it's so hard it could.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, he could break his teeth on that. Flirt poles, spring poles.
Oh, yeah, all those work good.
Yeah, if you have a pretty good sized kennel, you can take no trampoline spring or anything, or just a piece of rope and tie it up just so that puppy can grab it and pull, and he's constantly getting a workout. You know, you want to have that puppy to where muscle structure is not going to develop until later on, but mental maturity is the biggest key to us.
Yes.
I mean, it's one of those deals where if the dog's just, you know, like I said, he's really young, so he has to learn, and it's a process. And if you don't have a lot of experience with a dog or with puppies, it's going to be a process for you. It's a painstaking process sometimes.
Yes.
For years, I got away where I didn't even want any puppies, didn't want to mess with them. And now, honestly, I like pups to
The good thing
mess
about
with.
puppies is if you do them, get them, and raise them right, they'll be exactly what you want out of a dog. Whereas if you're buying a dog already, they could have handler errors already built
And
into them.
horrible.
And things that it's almost nearly impossible to correct on a 4 to 5-year-old dog.
Yeah, you get some that's got some bad habits, and I don't know. You know, like I said, you teaching a dog to come when it's called at 3 to 6 months old, you're really going to welcome that with open arms when it's 2 years old and you've been on a 3-hour run. Hopefully you don't never have to run one that long, but if you have,
It happens.
and then it gets on some other property and you got to go get that dog, you want to be able to call the dog to you.
Oh, yeah.
So then after you've done that and pup's starting to get a little older, say another month has went by, 4 to 5 months old, you can start introducing that pup to its quarry, which, you know, in our scenario is going to be a pig. So check all your local laws, your state laws and regulations on the availability or the legality part of having a wild hog, because that's ultimately the best thing to train one with. In Alabama, we can't have one, so we do a lot of trial by fire. You know, it's in the woods.
Or even using a domestic hog.
Yeah.
Like in Alabama, we still can't do it
Yeah,
with
you
domestic
can't have
hogs.
any animal that doesn't have clear route of escape. You know, so like I said, make sure you check all your laws
You
and
can't
regulations.
turn loose domestic hogs, so you can't
Shit,
do
no.
a mock hunt with them or nothing like that.
But if you can get you a small pig and put it in a crate where the pup can see it, you know, where it can start learning what its quarry is, introduce it to that a couple of times.
That works really good with bay dogs.
Yes, you don't. But that's
It
like
teaches them that distance.
This is like I said. This is probably going to be more of a bay dog. What we're going to talk, what we're discussing here, because if it was running catch dog, you know, you wait till it's just a little, you know, when it's ready to start grabbing a hold, you just let it grab a hold and just keep grabbing a hold all the
Yeah,
time.
then if you can do a mock hunt, do some real hot track, just to be a
A
little
mock hunt is really the best way
Yes.
to me to get a pup started.
I'd say show them the pig first, then do the mock hunt,
Yeah, that's what
so
I
they can
got wrote down.
associate that.
That's what I said. You introduce them to it, let them know that that's what's going on. Do that a couple of times, and then you can turn it loose.
Oh yeah.
You know, and a lot of times you can get a hobble. You know, you got the Velcro hobbles. I don't know if we can't even have hobbles here anymore, so it don't even matter. But used to, what we would do is we take one of the Velcro hobbles or a piece of mule tape or something like that, put it around its back leg, and have basically a drag. And when the pig would run out in the briars or whatever, or in a field, it basically hang itself up, and the pup would have a pretty easy run to be able to find it. Which we haven't been able to do that in years now. We used to do it a lot. I don't know. I mean, I know at least once a week we were doing mock hunts every week, and not one time did we ever let any hogs go. And you know, it's bad, because that's one of the biggest problems that we had, or is what they say that's one of our biggest problems, is people transporting them and turning them loose. And I know it's happened. I mean, there's no doubt it's happened, but all the guys I know, didn't anybody do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we specifically used them to train, and then we would, you know, take care of them after the fact and butcher them up.
Barbecue.
And barbecue, yeah. And so after you got you know, when you're doing a mock hunt, basically all you're doing is putting down a scent so that way that pup can associate that scent with the quarry, and you let it go. Like I said, you make it where the pup can go out there and find it. Basically, you're just going through the motions of a hunt with the puppies. And then, you do that a couple of times, then you start taking that pup with you to the woods. That doesn't mean that once you haul the pup with you, that doesn't mean you're going to throw it out there and let it just run.
No.
You want to start hauling it, like we were talking about earlier. You want it to be like a companion at first.
Yes.
To teach it the ins and out of.
To show them, hey, I'm the handler. I'm over you. You're my dog. And then you build that relationship, and a lot of them, when you're building that relationship, aim to please you. They want to listen to you a lot of times. They'll be like, please let me go do this. And if you can figure out how to channel it properly, you usually end up with a good dog.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good dogs that should have been great dogs but weren't because of handlers.
Handler error is the biggest issue.
And there's a lot of fair dogs that were good dogs because of good handlers.
Yep. Handlers can change a lot. Really, they can change. And I've said it in probably half the videos that we've done. The energy that a person has and gives off, that dog will pick up on that. If you're just ill all the time and irate and all carry on, and that dog's going to pick up on that. And that dog will, in turn, either accept that energy, and it will cause that dog to change its actions.
A lot of times. If somebody that's around it, like real loud and screaming all the time.
Or it can reflect your energy, and that dog can become just like you.
And bite you.
Yep.
I've seen people being bit because they smacked their dog.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what you expected.
But when you take that, start taking the pup with you early on, hauling it, put it, it's just like practicing for baseball or football or anything else. If you want to be good at it and you want to have, you want to have good stock, then you need to take, basically in practice, get that pup, put it in the dog box, teach it how to load up.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as it's big enough to jump on the tailgate, start teaching it how to load up. I've got dogs from other people, 2.5, 3-year-old dog, won't even load up. Won't even load up in a buggy. It's like, you got to pick him up. And it does get kind of aggravating, but that's one of the big things. And if once you do start taking the pup out, like I said, this is where the socialization and all those things that we talked about earlier, that's where those come in. When you take that puppy to the woods and you've already basically practiced and got it where to load up, get in and out of the box, shouldn't be getting sick. Because, pups will get sick just driving, just like car sickness.
Easy.
And once you do all that stuff, then you can start letting it ease out there a little bit. If you've got an older dog that's, we call them puppy trainers,
It's a little bit of a slower hunter.
Yeah, or retired.
Yeah, the first few times. Now, you don't want to keep your dog, a young dog, with a slower dog all the time, because then you'll just make a slow dog.
Yeah, or just like a Me Too dog.
Yeah, or you just kind of like with the mock hunting, like you don't want to give them 10 mock hunts.
No.
Because then when you drop them out, they're going to expect a pig track just to be there. And you can't really do that.
Exactly, because, it'll be, like you said, they'll expect something at the end of the rainbow every single time, so it's one of them deals. And, but you can get to... Collar breaking is another thing that we need to go over too. And you can do this in the field, or you can do this at home, or a combination of both, whatever. You can do it before you take the pup or as you take the pup. You got to the e-collar training. Like I said, be careful with that, because you can ruin a pup with that. It has a tone button on it. And some of them have where to vibrate. That's what you want to do. Parker, get that cat out of there. We got a cat over here that's wanting to be a part of this, and I don't know what's wrong with it. It actually thinks it's a dog for the most part.
A cat will bite you.
Yes, that cat will attack you.
It bit me this morning
like a pit bull, and it actually attacks the bulldog we have, which our bulldog is a big old puss. His name is Blue. He eats lettuce. He eats salads. He likes ranch dressing, and he is a weirdo.
Yeah, it's a weird dog.
be careful with the e-collars. Don't burn your pup up. Don't use the shock unless you have to. That's just us. That's me. That doesn't mean it's right or wrong.
Yeah, we don't have certifications in dog training or something like that.
I'm not a professional with that.
What has worked for us
exactly.
the past, how long we had shock collars now? 7 years?
Well, no, I had shock collars before that, but they were separate. And I've got the track and train collars now.
That's what I was thinking. I'm sorry.
And we would use them, but I never put them on a pup. I would only put them on the older finished dogs, and that was it.
And that was really just to tone them, just to get them
that was to get them to turn around, yeah. But we got, I was trying to read, cut gear. If you're going to run any kind of cut gear on your pup, find the smallest cut gear you can find that's available. It's storming like crazy. I don't know if y'all can hear that thunder. Yeah. It just started storming like hell. But find your cut gear, put it on there. Just another thing, just like practicing, put it on, get it used to it. I know all you guys out there that have experience in this, you get a dog that's 8 months old or a year old or whatever, and you've got it ready to go to the woods and it's going on its own. And you're like, well, I better put a bay vest on it or a strike vest or something like that. So here's the other bulldog right here. I don't know, podcast listeners, of course, you guys can't see it, but on YouTube, I'm holding a straight killer. I'm talking about something that's just, it's a loaded weapon. That's what he is. Yeah. I don't know why we have cats, but
we have a cat.
He's bad. But anyway, put the gear on him, let him get used to it. If not, you don't want them walking stiff-legged or laid down like they're having a seizure or some shit like that.
Yeah.
That's happened.
A lot of times they'll find the most disgusting thing, like a big old turd pile or something dead.
Something's dead and roll in
it with a brand new cut vest. That happens a lot.
It can be very nasty. Mental maturity is what we were talking about a while ago. Different breeds, depending on the breed you get, they all take different lengths of time to mentally mature. And I mean, that a 6-month-old pup is not mentally mature. There's some 6-month-old pups that are freaking all-stars. I know guys that they'll be pissed off if their dog's not going at 6 months old, and they say, well, that's a cull. That's not true.
It's a whole spectrum.
Yeah, it can
age
be
maturity.
I've got a dog out
just
here.
Like with people.
I never turned loose till he was 2 years old, and that dog right now, I'll put him up against anything that I've ever owned. And I mean, he will get it done. And it was because, number one, at a year between 12 and 14, 15 months old, he was overly aggressive. Even though he was socialized properly, even though we done everything that was supposed to be done to him, he was just not mentally there.
He couldn't get the picture of channelizing all the anger towards the pigs instead of some to the pigs and some to other dogs.
Exactly. And then once he got it figured out, it's like a switch kicked on him, and haven't had any issues. Knock on wood, we might have one tomorrow, but it's been for 2.5, 3 years now. We've run him for 2 full years, I know. Yeah. And he will put the brakes on one. He will go find one and do what he wants to.
He will honor obey.
Anything that a hog dog is supposed to do, he will do it.
Now, if one bucks up at him first or bites him or something, he's going to whoop that dog more than likely.
Yeah, he will.
Which I get it. Somebody punched me in the face. I hit him back.
Exactly. Like that's the socialization thing. Like I said, we really emphasize socialization. You need to socialize as well.
Yes, you need to have people skills.
Exactly. Don't be a
weirdo.
Yes, don't be a weirdo. Because, I mean, I'm a weirdo. I have my own problems, but, the guys that know me, they don't know that I'm really shy deep down inside. We don't know where the hell
Fake it till you make it.
Yes, exactly. I'm famous as hell in my own mind, and I don't know if it's working or not. But, chicks dig it. But, so, the socialization, if you get your socialization skills down and your pup has socialization skills, there's nothing that you cannot do. You know what I'm saying? You can have the greatest hog dog, coon dog, squirrel dog, rabbit dog, pimp dog, whatever.
There's a lot of world champion coon dogs that sleep at the foot of somebody's bed.
Oh, yes, sir.
There's a lot of world champion coon dogs.
They will not sleep at the foot of my bed, though. I can guarantee you that. Them world champion dogs will have their ass out there on that chain with the rest of them or in their kennel. I'm not
Now,
playing.
if it's world champion, they might have a really nice kennel.
Yeah, they have a nice kennel.
Yeah,
but
they might have the nicest
I
kennel
got
in the
this
yard.
right here. See this cat? He does not. He don't look at him. He don't play no shit. He won't let nothing sleep close to me. Even the wife has to, bait him out of the bed. It's just one of them deals. Now he's the star of the show now. He's a bad boy.
He ain't bothering nothing.
Nah, he ain't hurt nobody. But okay, back to what we were actually supposed to be talking about. Correcting your dog. Like I said, you got the e-collar, and then a lot of people have, can get a little switch. You can take your hand, spat the dog a little bit, just like a child.
You have dog whistles.
Taking a lead and whooping your dog's ass, to me, honestly, is probably the most stupid thing that I've ever heard.
Yeah. Because then they're going to be scared of the lead.
Yeah, I mean, like, why would... And I know, hey, I have seen it work. I've seen old guys whoop a dog, and that dog of mine, but if you hit me a few times, I'm going to bite your ass, or I'm not coming back to you.
Like, spatting them with, maybe, the paracord part, or, just the plastic biothane part. With just pop them on the butt to get their attention. But
I'm talking about, I've seen
some people...
chain and whoop the
I'm talking about whooping, I was like, dang.
Yeah,
I think I want to go home. I don't think I want to hunt with these guys anymore.
And, now that you got your pup up and you've been hauling to the woods and you let him go a few times with the older dog, what I like to do is, hopefully you can catch a small pig in the woods and let that pup get all he wants of it, whether it's baying or chewing on it, whatever you need to do. And I mean, I use that term, and a lot of hog hunters use, it's like, well, they're chewing on it or something like that. A lot of times that doesn't necessarily mean that they're literally chewing it like a piece of bubble gum. Little bay dog means he's really getting into it. He's really wanting to do his job. So,
and a lot of times after you stick the pig, you can take and move it and let the dog still bay it. Because a young dog, especially, that doesn't have that correlation, which you don't want to do that too much because you do want them to relay.
Yes.
So there's a certain period after, I'd say, year and a half old, I wouldn't really let them mess with the pig after they're dead.
After I've done that 3 or 4 good times, and and every place is different. Like, you go to some places, they got a lot of hogs. Where we're at, we have pigs, but not like Louisiana, parts of Louisiana, South Mississippi, and Texas do. We say, we catch 3 or 4 hogs on a weekend. We've had a good weekend. I mean, when I say that's all weekend.
Yeah. If we don't have a place baited up, we might not see a hog track.
Yeah, you won't even see a hog track. So, but be realistic about it too, though.
They're dogs.
Yeah, they're pups.
They're animals.
It's just like a human. We make mistakes, and it takes time for us to learn. Some of us are more hard-headed than others, and then a lot of times those guys that were hard-headed and it took a lot longer to get it through to them, they turned out to be the best. So, just because that dog ain't just jamming up at 6, 8 months old, that doesn't mean that it's not worth putting your time into it. Because, to me, a lot of that means it's more of the part on the handler again. It's like, I want it now, I want it easy.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
you
this
definitely have to have patience. It's a long-term investment. A good hunting dog.
2 years minimum.
Yeah.
2 years.
That's if your dog dies early or you're selling. I mean, a lot of times you can get 8 to 10 years out of a hard
dog
hunting
that's smart.
dog.
Yeah, exactly.
And that gets cut up pretty regularly. I mean, now a lot of them meet an earlier death, just a freak accident. They get hung up under the vest and get just one punctures their lung.
Exactly.
Something crazy happens. But a lot of times,
a multitude of things.
I mean, heck, how old was Head?
12, almost 13.
Yeah, he was 13 years old and we were still hunting him. He wasn't a bay dog.
Biggest freak accident. I mean, I don't know. It was just one of them deals. But anyway, like I said, he was an older dog. So, and that's the thing about age is, the older I get, the older I want my pups to be before I even start them.
Yeah.
I used to start. I mean,
6 months we were usually
and I mean,
doing
when I say
contact.
starting them, that's like taking them to the woods and stuff like that. I don't mean not doing the things that we're talking about here. Like putting your time. Basically, all you're doing is you're putting time into your investment with the the obedience and the different methods and styles and forms of training that we've been talking about, the pig ears, the pig skins, the flirt poles and stuff like that. You got to put that time in to get it to where it's even old enough to start. And then a lot of times I'll wait till that pup tells me it's ready to start.
Oh yeah.
That pup will let me know when it's ready to start. And then after that, then we go from there. If you got a pup or a couple of pups and they're really, really turning it on, doing real good at 5, 6, 7 months old, 8 months old, take them away from it. Put them up a few weeks. Take them, don't take them hunt, don't take them nothing. Just leave them at the house. Then take them back out by themselves, not with your older dogs or none of that. Take them back out by themselves and see the difference, see what happens. Yeah. The fireball that you had that started out, those few weeks, that mental maturity, that dog could possibly slow down
or do even
and
better.
Really start. That's what I'm saying. Slow down and start to pick a track and work the track. There's a difference between running after another dog and running a track and then working a track and then finding a track and finishing the track. Oh shit!
But that one hit the pecan tree.
Yeah, I was going to say that right there. It's pretty close here to the house.
I don't like that.
And then again, in the same instance, when you have the one dog that was slow and wasn't doing nothing, it might pick up and really turn it on. Then again, you might realize, hey, this one ain't going to make it.
Yep.
It might be one of them deals there.
Sometimes you just find you a family friend and be like, hey, do you want this dog? Because you've already went through all the obedience training and stuff like that. And it can make somebody else a really good yard dog.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a place. I think all animals have their place in this world. Some of them have different. Some of them that's not on top of the dirt. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them deals. One thing is, there's going to be mistakes, and you got to get over it. And you got to move on. You can't just if you make a mistake, learn from it, and be a better handler and a better trainer. It'll teach you. It'll turn you into a better dog man overall. Like I said, this segment here is more for the beginner that's starting out and a few things to do with your pup. That does not mean that we know everything. Don't take it like that,
Like I said, if there's somebody out there whose grandpa taught them something different,
let us know.
Send us a comment, send us an email, Facebook message, whatever, and say, hey, these are my thoughts and opinions.
Yeah.
And we will read your comments and stuff word for word and give you a shout out. And
don't be an ass, though. Don't do that.
Be a dickhead.
That's right. Nobody likes that.
I mean, I'd say probably 90 to 95% of dog error is handler error.
Yep.
And the other
that's what I wrote down. I said it's handler error. And the reason I say that, it's not because from watching other people do it, it's from doing it myself.
Yeah.
From learning the hard way.
We had plenty of dogs that were just good dogs because we did something wrong.
Yeah. And then I had some that were freaking fantastic dogs.
Because we did everything right.
And, but now so now we went through all that stuff. You got your pup started. Now you got to feed this pup a strict diet of tracks. You got to feed it tracks. You got to put that dog on the ground this time. I know a while ago it sounds crazy. You're like, hell, is he going to make his mind up? Yeah, take it away from it, then put it back on it.
From a pup into a young dog.
Independence. Now. You're going to find out what dogs are independent, what dog's going to be a pack dog, what dog's going to be a Me Too dog, what's going to be your lead dog. That's where all that comes into correlation to this. Yep. Sometimes you don't need but 1 or 2 dogs. That's it.
Yeah.
I think too many times people turn loose 25 dogs and they don't need to, or they turn loose 10 dogs and they don't need to.
And this ain't even for puppies, but this is for dogs in general.
Yeah, just in general.
If you have a pack of dogs and you think this one dog's been your lead dog the whole time, and a few other ones are just Me Too, hunt each dog by themselves and see what happens.
You'll find out who your lead dog was. It's going to surprise you.
You could be right, but a lot of times you're wrong.
It's going to surprise you, I guarantee you. So, but I mean, I know this. Like I said, we done this right here. Somebody asked us to go over this, and that's what this whole podcast that we've started has been about. Is we want to hear from you guys. So first of all, you got to subscribe. you got to hit the button. You got to hit the like button, the ding ding button, and all that. We got a Patreon account set up now.
So we'll be linking that.
Yep.
We'll probably be doing some videos showing like what Dad was talking about with the correction on the lead or wrapping it around or do a few short videos
and that's
like
what
that.
your Patreon account will get you. And then we'll have merchandise. We'll have coffee mugs.
We'll get some stickers.
Got some stickers and stuff like that.
Hats and t-shirts.
Hats and t-shirts and all that, which we've had them for years over the years, but I didn't say, we didn't offer them to the public.
That's just for ourselves.
Yeah, it's just for ourselves. So if you want some Dixie Doggers gear, we're gonna hook you up.
Or if y'all have some ideas of what kind of gear you want,
tell us what you want. Like I said, now we always have anything to do with dogs as far as stakeouts, chains, leads. Brake sticks, stuff like that.
We make a lot of brake sticks.
We make all our own
friends
stuff.
and ourselves.
So, but if you want one, all you gotta do is holler at us and say, "Hey, man, send me something," and we're gonna send it to you. I guarantee you, we're gonna send it to you. We want to say thanks to all the people that help us. And there's got to be so many now. Shit, I'm gonna have to do a whole segment on just people coming to help me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I said, Crockett Taxidermy. Lance Criswell, he's one of our main guys. Donnie Yates, Deal Outdoors, Whitetails of America. Check him out for all your Tacticam needs. So, we appreciate it, guys.